Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I am super excited to talk about what we're going to dig into today. We've skimmed it in the past here with her, but we're really going to dive into the waters of manifestation and how you can attract what you really want in life. And there are some that truly believe it. There's others that say, come on, how can I get that car I really want? How can I have that job, that perfect person? It's been proven that it does work if you use this and this. And I'm going to use her talents and expertise as a spiritual life coach, hypnotherapist. She's the creator of Imagine Getaways, which does so many great retreats in Arizona. She's also the author of Rebel Spirit, and she's back with us. Rhea Maceris is on the program. Welcome. How are you?
It's wonderful to be here, Steve. Thank you.
This whole manifestation thing, I've been studying it for a while. I don't believe I've mastered manifestation. I've seen it in action, but I have to honestly tell you, I haven't fully manifested the life I'm looking for, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen pieces of it. I've seen me manifest, but fall short and receive things that were almost the way they should be, but there was a key component missing. But I can feel this, the things that I believe I deserve and should be in my life, they're here. There's no doubt about that. And I'm just using me as an example. I feel that that's half of it, if not more. Feeling that it's there, like that's coming my way soon. I don't know how it's going to show up, but it's on its way. Does that make any sense?
And I love that you said you don't know how, because the how is up to the universe, truly.
Yeah.
So I truly, and I work with many clients on manifesting at the moment, and I truly believe that it's looking from the bigger picture. It's one of the reasons our souls are here during this lifetime, is to learn how to manifest by realizing that everything is energy. So first, it takes a belief in the idea of energy and how energy works. So that's the first part of it. And then it's being willing to be in the present moment, letting go of resentments, letting go of fears and any of that negative energy, because in order to manifest, I believe, in what I experience, is that we need to be in the higher vibrational feelings of love and appreciation and acceptance, like we've talked about many times. So letting go of the resentments, because those can only bring us down. And so when you're in the present moment, then that's the perfect opportunity to begin to realize, okay, what is it that I really want in this present moment? What can serve me on my path? And getting clear about that. And then putting that out. Imagine feeling it as if you already have that partner, as if you already have that special car, as if you already have the perfect mission, career that you want to explore. And then what I find can be part of the trickiest part of it is to not let any doubts or fears come in that it's not going to happen. That's where we need to remain in the present and then let the whole idea go, not hanging on to it. Let it go. Put your focus onto your next project, your next book, your next journey, something else, because then it's almost as if you're letting the energy go out, and then it can come back to you.
Let's go step by step.
Okay.
We're back to the beginning in terms of, even before you manifest, you need to make sure those things that don't serve you are gone. And that can be resentment, animosity, negativity, maybe a past relationship you're hanging on to. Hey, it happens. It's hard. It's, you can just put it out of your mind, and then you get a reminder and like, that person did me wrong, but I'm hearing from you, before the manifestation on this side is going to really take shape, you got to get rid of that.
Because imagine it from this perspective, Steve. Otherwise, it's as if we're allowing that person to rent free in our head. hanging out with the resentment, the pain, the hurt. And of course, that's okay to feel those feelings when you're hurt. And I'm not, this isn't about ignoring the feelings, but it's letting yourself feel them and let the thoughts and the animosity and the resentments go, because that's not going to serve you ever. And so even that first step is a powerful step in being more in the present moment.
I love what you just said there, because let's say you were with somebody who just turned out to be a loser. You gave them everything,
They're
and
out
they're
there.
out there, and you don't know what happened, but just something just turned around, and they just turned into another person, whatever it might be. If you don't move past it, if you carry the resentment, it's like you're carrying a billboard right here that says, "Yeah, I was with a loser, and they're still in my world." And it's like, yeah, you got to move past it. Okay. Um, how do I present this? You have to feel that, and tell me if I'm in the zone here. You have to feel that feeling of elation, joy, and happiness even before you get what you really are looking for in the
The
universe.
excitement of having it. The excitement is a powerful feeling. I'm
Yes.
so excited. I'm feeling myself in that new convertible or whatever. I'm feeling it. The excitement of it is a big manifesting energy.
Hmm. I'll share something with you really personal. So I'm kind of in between relationships. One ended like 3 years ago, whatever. Um, and I remember I was waiting in my car, and I was just, I had a lot of time to kill, and I can be on my phone or whatever. This is going to sound ridiculous, but manifesting the perfect person. I looked over to the car seat, it was empty, passenger seat, and had a conversation with that person. That's how real I felt it to be, and or wanted it to be. And it
So
felt real.
even though the seat was empty, you felt the presence.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful example of it.
And does this stuff work? I will tell you, I manifested the perfect person. And I believe I got what I manifested. However, I wasn't strong enough and you need to be specific in terms of what you want. Emotional availability wasn't really there. The rest, off
Mm.
the scale, off the scale, except that.
Mhm.
And for me, running a little bit deeper, that's how I am. That wasn't there. That wasn't there. And it was obvious. And I wanted to believe, I know it wasn't going to change, but yeah, maybe I can work with that. Maybe I can, because the rest is okay. But no, it's just not going to
Which
work.
is, as we're realizing right now, how important that is. It's a significant part of who someone is, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people are different. Maybe it's not as important, but that's on, my manifestation list, if you will. Uh, should we write these things down?
Well, that's a great question, because I'm remembering back. So I'll give you an example of a time when I manifested my son's father. I literally had just moved to Sedona. The partner I moved here with, things didn't work out. He moved back to San Diego. So I was here in this beautiful town thinking, I'd like to share this with someone. So I literally wrote out all the things I wished for in a partner, as specific as I could be. I wrote it out. I put it underneath my bed. Someone had told me about that, and I thought, what the heck, I'll try it. The next day, I'm very serious when I say this. The next day, I met my son's father at a party. We connected, obviously had a child together. And there were several things on there. The emotional, interesting you said that, the emotional piece I had not included. That was a missing element in that relationship as well. He's a
Huh.
wonderful father. I'm very thankful for my son. I love him dearly. He's going to be 23 this weekend. However, that piece was not on there as well. So it really just emphasizes how important it is to be really clear. What is it that you want? As clear as you can be. And then the how it comes in is up to the universe. That's where we let that part go. And the how is literally up to the universe, and trusting in the universe that it has our back. That's another piece to the equation.
You know, it's funny, the emotional thing. I think we both took it for granted, just assuming, well, that comes with the
Yeah,
package.
yeah, that comes with a human being.
Yeah, one would think that they're
I would
going to
think that
be.
that's in there with the heart space somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, and the one thing I understand with manifesting is don't wallow on it. Don't walk around and say, when it, you know, if you're manifesting the perfect partner, when are they going to show up? What, you know, come on, I got to wait longer. When is it going to be? Because now you're coming from a place of lack, which is a place of negativity, and you're just derailing the whole process.
Well, and even in your tone and the way you said that, I felt an element of doubt. So even that doubt can push it away. Again, referring to the power of how energy works. Energy matches where we are. So when we're feeling that space that we want to create, that desired outcome, we're creating that space for it to come to us. It's like an allowing it. And I
Hmm.
even heard that and I haven't experimented with myself personally with this one, but I heard that when we're getting ready to manifest something, several things will be literally taken away, like a relationship may end or a career may end. So we're allowing a space for that new piece to come in. So I think that's an interesting piece to kind of consider.
Hmm. Uh, Sort of, I guess, back to what they always say, one door closes, one door opens. So you
Yes.
need to let go
Mm.
because there's only so much space. So you need to maybe end a relationship before you can start a new one. By the way, I just want to go back to what you said before. The next day with the perfect person, or what it seemed to be, and I was in a marriage and I thought it was the right person, and along with. Uh, I know somebody else that manifested, and she said the next day, and she's still with this person. The same thing happened. He just showed up.
She wrote down a list as well, is what you, wow. Yep.
But the next day, if it
Cool.
wasn't the next day, I want to be accurate here. It was the next day or the day after. Call it three tops, and that
Sure.
person showed up. Yeah,
Sure.
and it all worked out. And she came from I'm going back memory here. Uh, Challenging relationship, and this I just remembered this backs up what you said. She was in a challenging relationship, somewhat abusive, and her husband passed away.
Wow. So that space was there.
And she,
Hmm.
didn't manifest him passing away. It was kind of a blessing in some regards because he just wasn't a good guy, and according to her. But yes, and then shortly thereafter manifested, and then the perfect person did show up. And I know somebody, I don't know if I shared with you, and these are people that I trust, manifested a car, wanted a Tesla, and the more expensive one, like 60 grand, somewhere around there, manifested and bought the car cash probably like 4 or 5 months after she started working on manifesting it. I'm like, how did you do that? Like you couldn't afford it because I don't know. The money just kept coming in different areas, and I got it. And she goes, and it was a convertible too. So
The
uh
ultimate. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So, and I know this works because I manifested. I wasn't trying to manifest. I didn't know anything about this, but I would think things of my life like, this is what I feel like in this relationship. This is what it is. This is what I feel my role is. And I would say it to myself sometimes out loud, and that's what it became. And I firmly believe that I manifested it and brought the negative manifestation on, where it can be positive or it can be negative.
And so even another piece that I'm thinking of as we're talking about this is realizing and owning, why wouldn't you be able to deserve with the life that you want? I mean,
Right.
truly, why not?
Sure.
And so that's even in, reinforcing that we are of value. We do deserve the life that we wish for, because anything else is lingering in the doubts and the fears or the resentments, or like we talked about, and letting that go, being in the present moment and watch it happen. It's powerful.
How do you get to that point where you are very positive, feel the joy, feel that you deserve things, feel that, things are coming your way and it's all good. Maybe you have a challenging life now. How do you raise that vibration up?
Oh, that's such a great question. So a couple things are coming up for me as we're talking about that. The first thing is that I highly, highly believe in what I reinforce for my clients is to start your day in the higher vibrational feelings. Because imagine our world right now, we are in a lot of transformation, a lot of change. And for people that don't understand what's happening, they can be in fear and doubt. So if we're not literally choosing our energy we want to be in the moment, like fear versus love, being in the fear arena, then you're literally choosing your day to be in those higher vibrational feelings. Like for me personally, every single day, even if it's 3 or 5 minutes, I make that intention to go to those higher vibrational feelings. So we're starting our day in the arena where we can manifest from. Then throughout the day, really, really, really important piece, monitoring those. If those resentments come in, nope. I'm grateful. I'm focusing on feeling wonderful. Nope, all day long. And some days, if I'm tired or hungry, that inner critic is going strong.
Mm-hmm.
I have to literally shift it because I want to be in the magical place. I want to feel good. And that doesn't mean life still happens, things still happen. I still have my moments, and that we're human after all. However, to choose to be in those two ingredients are very, very powerful and very helpful.
It makes a lot of sense, because why would you want to start the day here when you can start it here?
Yeah, and you can be jumping in fear and doubt because energetically, I mean, all we have to do is look at the news for 3 seconds and there's a lot of transformation happening. Do you want to I don't want to hang out on all that. I mean, it is going on and I feel for the people that are being affected. However, I don't have to be in that. I don't have to be in that space. And I'm consciously choosing to be in those higher vibrational feelings.
Some
It's
people sometimes say,
freedom to be us, it's our birthright, really.
those well, yes, let's talk about that. I heard somebody say recently that we're all designed to be happy, joyful, learn, teach, give, just feel wonderful. And if you're not, something's not right. That's what you were designed for. All those gifts that you have, you should be giving them. Compensated for, yes, because somebody appreciates what you're doing, so they get back. Um, and if you're not feeling that, something's not right. There's an alignment issue, something's going on there. And I never looked at it that way, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, oh, I don't want to get out of bed today. I can't believe I got to deal with that. I've got this situation coming up, that situation coming up. Try and throw that all to the side and just take the higher road, even within your mind.
Well, that even reinforces the idea of the power of letting go of resentments. And I'm using the word resentment, encapsulating a lot of fears, anxiety, all those negative feelings. And of course, as human beings, those feelings
Sure.
can come in. However, what I'm suggesting is that if we're hanging out in the past, in the fears and the doubts, then we're allowing those lower vibrational feelings to be in the present. And our present creates our tomorrow, our future. And that's how we self-sabotage. If we keep hanging out with the resentment and the negativity, we're bringing that here, and then we're going to create more of it. And people wonder why they're in the same dysfunctional relationships or the same kind of people are showing up. It's because they're not letting go of that negativity. Does that make sense?
100%. Absolutely.
I mean, it's quite simple when you understand it. And the thing that often clients will say, oh my God, that sounds like a lot of work. Personally, I find it easier to be in those higher vibrational feelings because that's more natural. That's where our soul resides. That's where our higher self, our guides, whatever that is for you personally. I find it more difficult to navigate and deal with the negativity and the fear in my body because that eventually can create dis-ease. So it sounds like it's work, but it's actually easier when you start really living it. And it's like building a muscle. It's a day by day process.
I got a visual, Rhea, as you're saying that. of a plane and you're piloting your own plane. We are, we are piloting our lives, and the plane has taken off and now it's reached up here with a higher vibration, and you just keep flying up here, because if you're not flying up here, you're going to go down here. And what do you have? You have buildings, transmitting towers, all that. Now you're plane. You get. It's not easy to fly the plane down there. It is up here. I'm just in the clouds. We're just moving forward. Don't have to worry about anything. That's it.
I like that. It's easier up there. It's more natural. That's where it's, quote, meant to be. That's where I believe we are meant to be. And it's a day by day choice. That's freedom. That's empowerment, knowing that we can't control the world. We can't control anyone else. However, we can control what we're telling ourselves internally. And who wouldn't? I mean, we all want to be understood and loved and appreciated and feel kindness. So give that to yourself. That's part of letting go of the resentment.
Mm. And it's not easy. I get that. But what's on the other side of letting it go? The really good stuff. But we don't see that. We don't see that that's preventing us, because we're all creatures of habit. So we're so used to, be itching about something or someone. And also we like to play the victim, many of us, even in our own mind. Just play it back and forth. Maybe everybody's gotten tired of you talking about, whatever it is, but you still do it in your own mind, and it just doesn't serve. And I truly believe what you're saying is so on point, that if you're not letting that stuff go, you're blocking yourself from the good stuff. It's not going to happen.
And also, to reinforce that idea, Steve, it's realizing that the, quote, chaos and resentment and challenges, we have grown accustomed to them being familiar. So then suddenly when we're choosing those higher vibration, it feels like something's missing. Well, what's missing is the dysfunction.
Yes, there you go.
So that's another area where I coach people and remind them nothing's missing. It's the dysfunction, because I've had clients who recreate the chaos because they feel like something is missing. And fortunately, I'm able to understand what's happening and guide them and realize that's just an open space for you to manifest what you want, rather than something is missing. We're so interesting.
It really is. And that's clear too, with what's missing, because you're so used to it.
Familiar, yes.
Right. And what do we ride on? You as a hypnotherapist, we like to go back to the things that we're familiar with, i.e. limiting beliefs, things that happen in your childhood, that keep playing over and over in the subconscious. Why? Because it's familiar. You want to go back to it. So then it's almost as if you're walking on a tightrope for the first time. I don't know how to do this because I've never done it, because you don't have the baggage on your back anymore. Now it's easy to walk. You can just keep to the other side.
Because it literally is like we're carrying around something. So imagine when we're resenting someone, we make it into a thing and we're literally carrying it around. Like you said, it's like we have this big backpack on our backs of heaviness.
Yeah.
So let it go.
Yeah. And you're in that plane and you reach some higher vibration, open the cabin door and just throw that stuff out. Let it just drop wherever it wants to go.
With that.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. When you manifest, let's say whatever it is, perfect partner, car, job, whatever, should you write it down, throw it to the universe, let it go, and don't get back to it? Don't, revisit it. And I'm not talking from the place of lack, like when's it going to show up? But should you continually keep saying, yep, that car's it's in my future. It's on its way. Or that person, I will meet them. Or they're out there, or they're not ready for me yet, but they're out there. It's coming soon. How do you approach that?
Well, there's power in writing it down. Absolutely. And
For sure.
I believe even more so, it's feeling it, like we talked about, feeling as if you already have it. And then it's not dwelling on it throughout the day. It's letting the idea go. And that's part of the trusting it's going to happen as you let it go. And then go on to do whatever your next project is. You go to work, whatever, do your life. and with the trust that it's going to come, and just and then be in it. It's not like you have to keep dwelling on it, because even that can bring up the doubts.
So
And it's you. I mean, and like we've talked about, we're all unique. We're all individual beings. I'm not saying this is the ingredient for everyone. I'm saying this is what works for me and how I guide my clients. But experiment with it, play with it, make it a game. What do you have to lose? It's fun to try it,
I've heard it from all different sources of manifesting. And what you're saying is kind of the baseline. And that was the one thing that in my mind, someone is missing. How many times do you revisit it? But to your point, and I think it's a key point, if you keep revisiting it, even in a positive way, there could be some doubt that comes up.
Well, and you might be making it into a thing which is making it heavy instead of letting it go.
Right. Sort of like just
that's the experimenting place. It truly is.
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, just let it go. It's coming my way. That's it. And like put it in a balloon and just let it go to the sky, the universe, and whatever. And that's it.
Go dance with the airplane.
Yeah, exactly. Your website, tell us if somebody is wrestling with manifesting, all of it, or letting go of regrets and all of that other stuff. How do we reach you? How do we start?
My website is imaginegetaways.com. So IMAGINE, Imagine Getaways, which is plural.com.
Free consultation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. Yes.
Thank you for today. And also, very especially, your transparency in your life of manifesting what happened. Interesting how we kind of went through the same
Exactly.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting as well.
Yeah, that we left out that one part. But I will say, I don't write it down enough, and I haven't tried the under the bed thing. Why the heck not? It's happened. Now, this is 2 people that have told me the same exact thing.
Okay, so it's time. Try it.
Well, you'll know what to be doing tonight. There you go. Rhea, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure always.
Same here.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.